Stop. Don't scroll. Be still for a moment and listen carefully, because this is not SL Luce Kakui. You didn't land here by accident, and you are not hearing these words by chance. This moment has been arranged, lined, and appointed for you long before you even realized you needed it. I am calling you right now, yes. You. Not later, not when it's more convenient, not when you feel ready. Right now. I am asking you for just 2 minutes. 2 minutes where you quiet everything else, where you let go of the noise, the distractions, the endless thoughts pulling you in every direction. Because what I am about to speak into your life cannot be heard in chaos. It requires your attention, your stillness, your willingness to pause. You've been rushing, haven't you? Moving from one thing to the next, carrying responsibilities, expectations, pressures that never seem to end. And in the middle of it all, you felt something tugging at you, something you couldn't quite explain. A whisper you almost ignored. A feeling that there's more, something deeper, something you've been missing. That feeling brought you here. That quiet pull was not your imagination. That was me. I know it feels strange to stop like this, to pause when everything around you tells you to keep going. But I need you to understand something. Not everything that demands your attention deserves it. And not everything you've been chasing is what you truly need. That's why I am interrupting you now. That's why I am asking, no, urging, you to give me these next 2 minutes. Because what you're about to hear is meant to shift something inside you. There is a reason your heart feels slightly heavier today. There is a reason your thoughts have been louder than usual. There is a reason you've been searching, even if you couldn't put it into words. You are not lost. You are being led. And right now, in this very second, I am reaching into your life, asking you to stop long enough to recognize it. Do not brush this off. Do not tell yourself you'll come back to it later. Later is where purpose is often forgotten. Later is where clarity fades. This moment, this exact moment, is where something begins to change for you. But only if you stay. Only if you listen. So take a breath. Let everything else wait. For the next 2 minutes, it's just you and me. And what I'm about to reveal is something your heart has been waiting to hear. I see what you've been carrying, even the parts you've tried to hide from everyone else. You've been strong for so long, holding everything together, pretending you're okay when inside you feel stretched thin. There are thoughts you haven't spoken out loud, fears you've buried deep, questions that keep circling your mind when everything finally goes quiet. You smile when you need to, you show up when you have to, but there's a weight in your heart that doesn't seem to lift. And sometimes, you don't even know how to explain it. You just feel it. You've been tired in a way that sleep doesn't fix. Not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually. It's the kind of exhaustion that comes from trying, from hoping, from waiting, and not seeing things change the way you thought they would. You've asked questions you never got answers to. You've wondered if you missed something, if you made a wrong turn, if you're somehow falling behind while everyone else seems to be moving forward. And in those quiet moments, doubt has tried to creep in, whispering that maybe you're alone in this. But you are not alone. Not for a second. Every tear you held back, I saw it. Every silent prayer you whispered, even the ones you thought were too small or too broken to matter, I heard them. Every moment you felt overlooked, forgotten, or pushed aside, I was there with you in it. You may have felt like no one noticed, like no one truly understood the depth of what you were going through, but I did. I do. You've been carrying more than you were meant to carry by yourself. That pressure you feel, that constant tension in your mind, that heaviness in your chest. It was never meant to stay there. Yet you kept going. You kept pushing. Even when it hurt. Even when you didn't have the strength you thought you needed, you still showed up. And that matters more than you realize. There were nights you lay awake, replaying everything, trying to make sense of it all. Moments where you questioned your worth, your direction, even your faith. You wondered why things have been so unclear, why doors haven't opened, why certain answers haven't come. And in those moments, it felt like silence. But what you thought was silence was not absence. I was closer than you realized. I was in the stillness you didn't understand. I was in the pauses that frustrated you. I was in the waiting that tested you. You weren't being ignored. You were being held, even when you couldn't feel it. And right now, I need you to hear this clearly. Nothing you've gone through has been unseen, and nothing you felt has been invalid. Your struggle is real, your emotions are real, and your journey matters. You are not weak for feeling this way. You are human. And more than that, you are deeply known. And yet, even in the middle of everything you've been feeling, everything you've been questioning, something has already begun to change. You may not recognize it yet. It may not look different on the outside. But beneath what you can see, beyond what your thoughts are telling you, there is movement. Quiet, precise, and intentional. When you were wondering if anything was happening at all, things were already being set into motion. This is exactly why I asked you to stop. This is why I pulled your attention into this moment. Because if you rush past this, if you treat this like just another message, you will miss what is unfolding right now in your life. And this is not something you can afford to miss. Not this time. You've been looking for clear signs, something obvious, something undeniable. But what I've been doing has not been loud. It hath been deliberate. There are pieces coming together that you cannot fully see yet. Situations are shifting. Paths are being adjusted. Things that once seemed blocked are quietly being repositioned. And while it feels like you've been standing still, you've actually been standing in preparation. This is where your frustration has been growing, because from your perspective, it feels like nothing is changing. It feels like the same cycle, the same waiting, the same unanswered questions. But what you don't see is how close everything is to shifting. What you don't see is how much has already been aligned behind the scenes. Listen carefully. Just because it hasn't happened yet does not mean it isn't already in motion. There is a timing to everything, and right now, you are in a moment that is more critical than you realize. This is not just another pause in your life. This is a turning point. And most people miss turning points because they look too ordinary, too quiet, too uncertain. They walk away too soon. They stop believing too early. They disconnect right before the breakthrough begins. But you were not brought here to walk away. There is a reason something inside you is telling you to stay. A reason you feel this pull to keep listening, even if part of you doesn't fully understand why. That feeling is not random. That is your spirit recognizing that something significant is happening right now. If you leave too quickly, you will return to your routine thinking everything is the same. But it is not the same anymore. Something has already shifted. Something has already started. You are standing at the edge of a moment that is about to reveal more than you expect. So stay here with me. Do not let distraction take you away now. Not when you're this close. Not when what you've been waiting for is closer than it has ever been before. Because what I am about to reveal next will change everything you thought you understood about your waiting, your pain, and your purpose. And I'll listen closely, because this is the moment where everything begins to make sense. What you thought was delay was never delay. What you felt as silence was never abandonment. And what you have been calling confusion was never without purpose. You have been interpreting your journey through pain, but I have been shaping it through purpose. Every closed door you didn't understand was not rejection, it was protection. Every time things didn't work out the way you planned, it was not because you were being pushed aside, but because you were being redirected. You were looking for immediate answers, but I was preparing lasting outcomes. And that kind of preparation requires time, requires patience, requires moments that don't always make sense while you're inside them. Think about it. If everything had happened when you first wanted it to, you would have stepped into situations you were not ready for. You would have carried the same doubts, the same fears, the same uncertainty into places that required strength you hadn't yet built. So I slowed things down. Not to frustrate you, but to form you. Those nights you felt alone, you were being strengthened. Those moments you felt overlooked, you were being positioned. Those seasons where nothing seemed to move were the very seasons where the deepest work was happening within you. I was building something in you that could not be rushed, something that needed to grow beneath the surface before it could be revealed. And now you are not the same person you were before. You have more awareness, even if you don't always recognize it. You have more resilience, even if you still feel tired. You have more depth, more understanding, more strength than you give yourself credit for. And that is why things are beginning to shift now. Because you are becoming ready for what is next. This is not SLUJADIKAKI. This is transition. You are stepping out of a season of questioning and into a season of clarity. You are moving from waiting into alignment. The things that once felt blocked will begin to open. The confusion that clouded your thoughts will begin to clear. And the direction you've been searching for will begin to reveal itself, step by step. But understand this. The shift does not always begin outside of you. It begins within you. The moment you start to see your past differently, everything around you begins to change. The moment you realize that nothing was wasted, that every experience carried meaning, you step into a new level of understanding. And that is where you are right now. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not stuck. You are in the middle of transformation. And what is ahead of you is going to make sense of everything you've been through. So lift your perspective. Let go of the idea that you were delayed. You were being prepared. And now you are stepping into what you were always meant to walk into. So now that you hear me, now that you understand what I have been doing in your life, do not walk away unchanged. This moment was not SLUJADIKAKI, and neither is your response. I want you to do something simple, but powerful. I want you to declare it. Type it, speak it, make it real. I trust the process that is shaping me. Let those words settle into your spirit, because what you declare begins to take root within you. You are not who you were, and you are not where you used to be. You are stepping forward, even if it feels small, even if it feels uncertain. And I am with you in every step. Carry this with you after this moment ends. When doubt tries to return, remember what you heard here. When confusion tries to cloud your mind again, come back to this truth. Nothing was wasted. Every delay had meaning. Every moment had purpose. And what is ahead of you is not something to fear. It is something that has been prepared for you. Do not shrink back now. Do not question your worth now. Stand in the quiet confidence that you are being guided, even when you cannot see the full path. Trust that what is unfolding will meet you at the right time, in the right way. And as you move forward from here, know this: you are not alone, you are not forgotten, and you are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. And as you step into this truth, I am calling you into something deeper. What you have received here is not meant to stay with you alone. Just as the seed is planted to bring forth a harvest, this message is meant to reach others who are still searching, still waiting, still hurting in silence. When you choose to support this mission, you are not giving to a channel. You are sowing into lives, into hearts, into souls that are crying out for light. I see your willingness, and I say to you, the one who sows generously will also reap generously. This is not just a verse. It is my living promise over you. If you feel this stirring within you, if something inside you is saying, I want to be part of this, then act on it now. Do not delay what I am placing on your heart. Your seed becomes someone else's answered prayer. Your obedience becomes someone else's breakthrough. The opportunity is right in front of you, in the description, through the PayPal link, even in the QR code placed before you. Step into it as an act of faith. And as you give, I release this over you. What you sow in obedience will return to you in ways you cannot predict. Doors will open. Peace will increase. Provision will meet you. Not because you were forced, but because you responded. So do it now. Step forward. Sow the seed. And trust me with what comes next.